So yes, welcome everyone back to Middle-earth Gaming, and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and welcome back to Defense of the Northweed. This is day 2. Which hopefully should be coming out. This is going to be our continued review of Defense of the North, the fantastic new supplement, I should say, by the Middle-earth team. Absolutely fantastic. As you guys know, I've been waiting for this for so long right now. I'm really excited about it. Going to be doing a lot of stuff for Defense of the North in the coming weeks and months, so I hope you guys are excited for that. And before I get started, I do want to say a big thank you for all the support recently on the channel. We have recently reached over 500 subscribers, and we are getting closer to 600, which is very insane. So thank you guys so much. And if you guys didn't know already, we do have a 500 subscriber giveaway going on. So make sure and go out, check out that video if you want to go and go into the draw to win a £50 GW or Forge World voucher. So I'll put a link to that in the description below to go check out that video to see how to enter. And if you guys want to win for the Defense of the North Week, we got another competition going as well for Defense of the North Week. And if you got a chance to win a copy of Defense of the North and some of the new Eastling dice, all you have to do is type defend the North in the comment section below, and that's all you have to do really. And be like and subscribe as well, share the video out, and because that really helps out the channel as well. But let's get straight into this one. So in the last one, in day 1, we did a quick review. I say quick, it was about over half an hour worth, because this book is awesome. We did a quick review of what my first impressions and my first review of the book is. And today we're going to be going into the scenarios. So there is 18 scenarios in the main book, and there are some appendix scenarios as well. We won't do the appendix scenarios today, we'll do that a bit later on. But we are going to go into the normal scenarios at the moment. So starting off with the attack on Arable. What's it called? The Siege of Arable? Let me get this right. Let's go, where is it? The Battle of Dale, I should say. Of course, it's the Battle of Dale. How could I forget that? But I do want to say as well, before we get into this, that I did overlook this in the last video. Is that when we open up, we usually see a map of Middle Earth when we open up the front cover, and this one is about the North, as you guys can see. Hopefully you guys will see, or hopefully I should transition now to a down pan so you guys can actually see with a bit more detail. You know, I'm not going to give too much away. It should be on a loose focus right now. But to give you a bit of a tease, because I don't want to give everything away. I won't be reading through everything in these scenarios and through this book, because I do want to give you guys a bit of a how should I say it? A bit of a tease, but I want you guys to enjoy it when you get the book in your hands as well. So we get that. Of course, we have the contents and introduction that we went through yesterday as well. We have the history of the North and the Tale of Years, which again I won't go through, because I want to leave it for you guys to read yourselves. I think that's a really nice thing for you guys to read when you first get your book. And then we come straight to the scenario. So first up, we have the crossing of the River Carnan. Now this was it's from the appendix. I think it's from Appendix E, I want to say. It's when Gandalf talks. I believe it's at Minas Tirith, if my memory serves me right. About Dane and the northern regions being at war, being under threat. And it basically goes on about saying that the Eastlings came down from north and crossed the River Carnan, and Brand and Dale fell back from there. So this is a scenario dictating that, which is very cool. It's on a 4x4 board with a river running down the center, which is very cool, a 6-inch wide river. And if you guys don't know already, I think I've said this in multiple videos right now, but I'm going to be building separate boards and specific boards for each of these scenarios, which I really am excited for. And a lot of these boards, like the Battle of Dale boards outside Arable, will be linked together, so that'll be a lot of fun. But these boards, this river board will be used twice in this book, so we'll get onto the other one a bit later on. But this first one is I've actually started working on. I've started doing the plans and designs and already started cutting foam. So hopefully you might see a bit of an update in that in a week or so. So that'll be very exciting, so I can't wait for that. So the participants in this one are Brand, King of Dale, Captain of Dale with shield, 20 Warriors of Dale, 6 with shield. So it's basically, your normal box. 6 with shield, 6 with spear and shield, and 6 with Escaroth bow. Next up, we have, for Evil, we have Rutabi, Eastling Captain with Arm and Horse, Sword and Shield, Eastling War Priest, 20 Eastling Warriors, with various options, and 5 Eastling Cataphracts. So a very, you know, nice skirmishy looking force for there. I won't go through all the special rules. Like I said, I want to leave you guys a bit of a teaser for when you guys get the book yourselves. But there's some very cool here. Obviously, you know, a river counts as deep water, as a river would do, but you can cross the ford. It's 6 inches wide, the ford, so that's really nice. Yeah, it's very, very cool. There's not much to it. You know, the game lasts 10 turns. Either player wins if at least 33% of the models have reached the western side of the river by the end of the game. Good player wins if they can prevent this. Additionally, if Bran is slain, then the best result the good player can achieve is a draw. So there we go. And what you'll see is a lot of these scenarios, like the big ones, like that we're coming up to, like the big all-out war scenarios, are a lot to do with breaking. So breaking at 25%, that's when the game ends. But then you have a few of these scenarios. There's a few of them in the entire book that go back to those original scenarios where you have to do a specific objective, not just break an opponent or, you know, get them down to 25%. Really, you know, you got to do specific objectives. And that's what I really like about this book. You know, you have those large scale conflicts. And then you have, like, you know, these little, like, you know, they're not little, but, you know, they have these little more skirmishy conflicts, and, like, you know, zeroing in on a larger battle. So that's what I really like about this book as well. So next up we have the Host Clash. And I want to say this is probably the biggest battle in the entire book. It is basically the Battle of Dale, like with Brand and Bard and Thorin and Dane all together. And we have the first time the Dragon Emperor of Rune is in here as well. We have, you know, the Runish War Drakes, which we'll come to in a separate video when we go through the profiles. But I think it was a big surprise when they were released, or announced, I should say. Like, they haven't even been officially announced, like, online yet. Like, you know, like, obviously they've been officially announced in this book, but they haven't, you know, we haven't seen a model for it. There's been a lot of speculation on what the model is going to be like. We don't even know what kind of base it's going to be on yet. So that's going to be really interesting. So yeah, we got, you know, 22 Warriors of Dale, 12 Knights of Dale, 25 Iron Hills Dwarves, you know, so it's a big battle, and I cannot wait for this one to play. I know I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, this is going to be like quite expensive battle to play. I don't care. I'm going to be doing it. You guys will see it on the channel. You know, again, I'm the only one. I run this channel by myself at the moment, and you know, I'm the one painting everything up. So, you know, it's going to take me a while. It might take me, you know, 6 months or so. But you know, I do have plans to go through these scenarios. Like I said, I'm already building boards for all these scenarios, so you can expect, you know, a steady pace, hopefully, of some progress to do with Defense of the North, you know, until we wait for the next supplement to come out. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I hope you guys are excited for that one. But yeah, that one's on a massive 4x4 board. You'll see a lot of these guys are on 4x4 boards, the big ones anyway. So that's always nice to see. So yeah, again, this one is the game lasts for 15 turns, and this one is at which point the side which has killed the highest number of points worth of models is the winner. So there you go. Like, that's an interesting, really an interesting what should I say, objective to go through. We should actually go through the participants and see how many points is each side. It must be pretty even, if that's the case. But yeah, that seems like a lot of fun to play for sure. Next up, we have the Plains of Erebor. And then these are the scenarios that it's still a big battle for sure. We have Brand, Bard, Dane, and Thorin, and we have 12 Warriors of Dale, 6 Knights of Dale, 13 Iron Hills Dwarf. So it's basically half of what the yeah, it's pretty much almost half of what the other battle was, essentially. But they're basically pushing the Dwarves and Dale back. And obviously you can see that you've got an objective right in the center, then you have an objective on the left and right middle sections of the good deployment zone. And basically the game, how long does the game last for? Game lasts for 10 turns, and the side which controls 2 objectives wins. So the Eastlings need to push. Obviously they're on objective 2, as you guys can see. And, you know, the good just need to hold those two objectives. They don't need to push for the third, you know, obviously. They just need to hold those two. So I wouldn't even try and pushing for the third. You just want to hold those two objectives. And the Eastlings need to push for those, for at least one of those objectives. So, you know, what do you do? Do you split up and go for two objectives? Do you consult all your forces on one? Let me know how you guys do that in the comment section below. But you know, Eastling Heroes models in this may re-roll d6s in a dual roll. That's quite common in these scenarios. That you'll see that quite often. And then you also have the Legendary Legion, which we'll get into a separate video as well. We have the A Bond Forged in War special rule there as well for Dane and Brand. Next up, spoiler alert, we've got the Death of Brand scenario. Obviously, if you guys know lore, if you know your lore, obviously Bran dies at the Battle of Dale, and his son Bard II succeeds him as King of Dale. So this one is a nice little, you know, it's on a massive board, but there's not a lot of models in here. It's on a 4x4 board with a hill, on a hill, and this one has Brand, 6 Knights of Dale, Dane Ironfoot, King of the Mountain, and 12 Iron Hills Dwarves with Spear. So basically, Bran's surrounded by Rutabi, 20 Eastling Warriors, and 2 Runish Wardrakes, and Dane has to try and save him, essentially. So, the game lasts for 10 turns or until Bran is slain. The good player wins if Bran is alive at the end of the game. The evil player wins immediately if Bran is slain. So, it's interesting, because Dane and the Iron Hills Dwarves could probably hold them off. Especially with the Shield Wall. But those Runish Wardrakes, we'll get to those profiles, like I said, in a separate video. They can do quite a lot of damage to heroes, so you want to keep Brand away from that. It is nice that Brand does increase his fight value to 6 in this scenario, and that Dane also may declare a heroic combat each turn without spending might. That's also nice as well. But again, you know, you kind of want to just get straight into Bran. Maybe take the, I don't know, would you put the Wardrakes and try and, I don't know, what would you do? Would you put Rutabi straight into Brand, or would you take the Wardrake straight, maybe Rutabi and the Wardrake straight into Brand, and then the Eastling Warriors to, like, you know, I don't know, defend off the Dwarves? Would you do? Honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what I do at this point, but a very cool scenario, a nice little scenario. Even though it's on a big board, I would not expect it to be on a massive board like this. I expect a 2x2, but nice to see that. Although what we do have on a 2x2 is Dane's last stand. Of course, Dane dies, spoilers, in the Battle of Dale as well. So we have Dane Ironfoot, King of the Mountain, with 12 Iron Hills Dwarves with Spear, so the same as the last one. And then for evil, we have Rutabi, Brogy. I should say that Brogy was in the last one as well. My bad. Then we have 20 Eastling Warriors and 2 Runish Wardrakes. So exactly the same participants as the last scenario, but we don't have Brand and the 6 Knights of Dale because unfortunately it looks like they've been perished. So, you know, Dane's fought on to try and get to Brand to save him. And now he's been surrounded himself now as well. So exactly how it does happen in the lore, essentially, because he dies defending Brand's body, which, you know, what happens in the lore, essentially. Then we have, so that's on a 2x2, so a nice little board there. Then we have another 4x4 board, which is the Retreat to Arable. Now this looks like a very fun scenario. So we have Bard and Thorin. I keep getting confused. Bard and Thorin with 11 Warriors of Dale, 12 Iron Hills Dwarves, and 6 Knights of Dale. And we have Rutabi, Brogy, 21 Eastling Warriors, 12 Black Dragons, 6 Dragon Cult Acolytes, and 2 Runish Wardrakes. And as you guys can see, you know, good deploy 12 inches from the southern board edge, and in the middle of the southern board edge, and evil deploy 6 inches, looks like 36 inches above, so 6 inches across east and west, and 36 inches above. And then we have the Gates of Erebor. Now this is a board that I also want to build. I think it's in the next scenario that you'll see. I've got a lot of plans, guys. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to get started. I've already started, but I can't wait to show you guys. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But basically, yeah, Thorin and Bard are trying to fall back to Erebor. And you know, a lot of cool things happen here. You know, additionally, whenever Bard or Thorin declare heroic march, they do not need to spend a might point to do so. It is free, so that's nice. You know, 8-inch movement dwarves every turn. You know, you gotta love that. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a very fun scenario. That's for sure. But again, we'll have to wait and see until we play it ourselves. Sorry about that, guys. Next up, we have the Siege of Erebor. Now, the Siege of Erebor is a very cool scenario, one that I really want to play. This is another board that I'll be playing as. It's going to be a little bit different than this one. My one will be a 2x2 board. This one is a 2x1 because I've got plans for this board to do other scenarios as well, not just this scenario. So I need this to be a 2x2 board, and it basically is the Ramparts of Erebor. Once you guys, so I've already started planning on this board of how it's going to look. I'm like I said, I'm so excited to show you guys this. I wish I could show you right now, but this is not about that. You guys will see that in a future video. Like I said, hopefully in a week or so, which I'm very excited to show you guys. But yes, we have the Battlements of Erebor with 5 siege ladders. We got Rutabi, we've got Eastling Dragon Knights, Eastling Captains, 21 Eastling Warriors, 12 Black Dragons, 6 Dragon Cult Acolytes. We have a banner. We got Bard, we got Thorin, 10 Warriors of Dale, 6 Knights of Dale, and 12 Iron Hills Dwarves with 6 with Spear, 3 with Mattock, and 3 with Crossbow. And basically, they're trying to hold off, the Eastling Warriors. So basically, I believe the objectives are they need to kill Thorin or Bard. The good side. Oh no, sorry. Yeah. So if they kill Thorin or Bard, not both, but if they kill Thorin or Bard, it's a draw. The best side good can do is a draw. But what good are trying to do? They're trying to kill 35 or more Eastling warrior or Eastling models, I should say. And they got 12 turns to do this. So 12 turns to kill 35 warriors, 5 siege ladders. It seems a bit tough. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't played this scenario yet, but this is definitely one I do want to play, and it's on a smaller board, so it seems like a one that it could be easily. You could easily get this one done nice and quick. But yeah, so yeah, if they don't kill 35 models, they don't win. Evil win. It seems like an interesting one. Numbers without count, so any Eastling warriors, that they slain, not heroes but warriors, they come on. Obviously it's basically numbers without count. Then the Battlements of Erebor, if anyone falls off a ladder or off the battlements, they fall to their death essentially, which is very cool. It's very reminiscent of like the Deeping War scenarios or the Wars of Minas Tirith scenario in Gondor at War. So that's nice. Then we have the last one for the Battle of Dale, the Tide Turns. Now, of course, this is when the tide turns essentially, and it took, I believe it took 2 days for the news of Sauron's defeat to reach Erebor, and the Eastling army there, and they basically broke at that point. They're like, what's the point of fighting anymore? And basically, the tide has turned. I keep saying Dane, Thorin and Bard. Rally the troops, rally every man and dwarf that you can find, charge out, and with renewed vigor, I should say, or renewed confidence that they're going to win this battle. And I believe, because it says broken morale, the evil force counts as broken for this scenario and must test to see if they flee, even though forces do not normally break in narrative play games. Now it says that they count as broken for this scenario. Now I read that as they are broken for the entire game. That doesn't matter down there when they're down to 50%. I would definitely see this as an FAQ. But it says in the fluff here, news of the Dark Lord's defeat and the destruction of Black Tower Barad-dûr have sapped the resolve of the Eastlings and turned the tide of battle. And it says in the little text, like in the 3 paragraphs at the start of this game, that their resolve has been broken already by the time that they've charged out. So for me, that sounds like that they already start the game broken, which is cool. But the thing is, they already have the Dragon Emperor, and the Dragon Emperor has a battlefield-wide standfast that also affects other heroes. So as long as you got the Dragon Emperor alive, he is the key. Chop the head off the snake, or the drake, I should say at this point, the dragon. Chop the head off the dragon, and the army will crumble. So yeah, you really want to push for that Dragon Emperor, I would say. But another big game. We got Bard, Thorin, 21 Warriors of Dale, 25 Iron Hills Dwarves, 6 Knights of Dale, the Dragon Emperor of Rune, Rutabi, Brorgir, Eastling Captain, Eastling Dragon Knight, 21 Eastling Warriors, 18 Black Dragons, 12 Dragon Cult Acolytes, and 2 Runish War Drakes. And it's basically just a fight to the death, essentially. When whoever gets their force down to 25% is the winner. Sorry about that, guys. Next up, we have Golem's Escape. Now, this is a very cool scenario. So we're off Battle of Dale, and we are now on to the Assault of Merkwood, I believe is what it's called. The Defense of Merkwood, I should say. Now, this scenario, I think no one really expected for us to get, because it really doesn't play a part with the Defense of North at that point. This happens before that. This happens before, this is what Legolas, this is what they talk about in the Council of Elrond, that, Golem's been captured by the Wood Elves of Mirkwood, and they're interrogating him. And basically, Legolas says, actually, he kind of escaped. That's why we're here, to chat like that. Golem's escaped. And, it's quite interesting that we've actually got a scenario for this. And it's really cool. And, it doesn't really take that much. A lot of these, we had a lot of boards then, that are flat plains. But a lot of these scenarios coming up are in forests. So I think it could be quite easy to play these scenarios, or just on a quick, on a quick map with some trees. It's going to be nice and simple. And they're rare. These first ones here are relatively small numbers. So for the good, we have Mirkwood Ranger Captain, 1 Mirkwood Ranger Captain, and 10 Mirkwood Rangers. For evil, we have Golem, an Orc Captain with shield, and 12 Orc Warriors, with obviously their variety of hand weapons and whatnots. And we have 6 Fell Wargs. So basically, Golem's got to try to escape, and that's the evil victory. And if Golem doesn't escape, good win. So very cool. Golem can't charge. He can't be charged. You don't want. He can't die. If he's slain, I believe. It's a draw. The game lasts until one force has completed their objective. The good player wins after the end of any turn. All the orcs and wargs have been slain. The evil player wins immediately if Golem escapes the board via the southern board edge. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, like I said, Golem does not have the ring, obviously. Additionally, Golem may not charge any models that he will fight as normally if he is charged. So yeah, you don't want to charge him, because if Golem is slain, the best result a good player can achieve is a draw. So if it looks like you're going to lose this scenario, like if the orcs are massacring you, and Golem might escape, you might want to kill him. What would you prefer, a win or a draw? A loss or a draw? What would you prefer, really? Next up, we have an Uneasy Alliance. Now, this one is about the Orcs of Mordor, led by what's his name, Razgush. That's it, War Leader of the North, coming to the Spider Queen and asking for assistance. Essentially, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool scenario. It's blue on blue or red on red, however you want to call it. We have the Spider Queen, 4 Mirkwood spiders, 4 giant spiders, and 2 bat swans for good. And then for evil, we have Razgush, 24 Orc Warriors, 6 Warg Riders, and 3 Orc Trackers. Now, I believe at this point, Orc Trackers are not available. So I don't know how we're going to get these models. I believe they're not available at the moment. I think they probably would come back as a made to order. I don't know why they're in this book if they're not made, if they're not available. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I'm pretty sure I looked on the GW website when I saw this. They're not available at the moment. I think they're they're completely, I don't think they're a part of the range at the moment. So it's quite interesting that they put them in. But again, another cool board with some trees and the Spider Queen's lair. That'd be a cool terrain piece to make for sure. And next up, we have the attack on the Bayonnings. Now, this is a very cool scenario because we have Grim Bayonne, I should say, 12 Bayonnings for good. Then we have 2 Orc Captains, 24 Orc Warriors, 6 Warg Riders, and 6 Orc Trackers. And you basically got good deploying in the center, except for Grim Bayonne. He will come on later. The start of turn 7 is the latest he can come on. Because the way he arrives is from turn 2 onwards, roll a d6 at the start of each turn before priority is determined and add the current turn number. On the score of an 8 or more, Grim Bayonne has arrived. So turn 7 is the latest, obviously, because if you roll a 1 on turn 7, it still counts to 8. So that's the latest he can arrive. But yeah, the earliest he can arrive is turn 2 if you roll a 6. So if you're really lucky, you really need, you're pretty golden there. It's basically, if Grim Bayonne comes on, you win. If he doesn't, if he comes on a bit later, you need to hold off until he gets here, essentially. But I feel like the Bayonne could probably hold him off. Like, there's 24 Orc Warriors. If they get surrounded, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, you gotta keep at least 4 Bayonnings alive. So Evil needs to kill 9 Bayonnings. It's gonna be a tough one. But you know, Grim Bayonne must reroll all failed rune rolls. So once he gets on, you're pretty much killing anything there. And it's a lovely model. I can't wait for those models to come out. Next up, we have the Burning of Mechwood with Durdle. Tariel. Tariel is in this scenario, which is very nice to see. So is it oh, I guess it's not canon now, but in GW's canon, I guess Tariel goes back to Mechwood after the Battle of 5 Armies. It makes the most sense that she does that, really. I think her and Thranduil kind of made up at the end of Battle of 5 Armies. But this is a cool scenario. We have Tariel, a Merkwood captain, Merkwood ranger captain, 12 Merkwood elves, 10 Merkwood rangers, against a heaps load of orcs, spiders, bats, giant spiders. The Spider Queen, I believe, is in there too, and Razgush as well. So obviously they've made some friends. And they are assaulting Mechwood now. They are in full force, and they're trying to burn down some massive trees on the outskirts of Thranduil's realm. And a very cool scenario, you got to try and kill the trees. And anytime a tree does die, it falls in a different, in a random direction, essentially. And it's anyone who's under the line suffers a strength 8 hit and is not prone, which is a very cool rule. Which will be cool to see, and be cool to make some nice tall trees. I've got some cool, what do you call it, guides to doing that. So I'm really interested on doing that. But yeah, game lasts 10 turns if the good wins at least if 3 of the larger trees are still standing. So you basically just got to have the majority of trees standing or burning, essentially, or destroyed. Then we have the battle under the trees, which is of course is what I believe that's the line in the appendix. It was like the Thranduil with the battle under the trees or something like that, I believe. But here we have the big one. We got the big assault on Mechwood. We have Thranduil. We have Tariel, Palace Guard Captain with Shield, Mechwood Captain, Mechwood Ranger Captain, 10 Palace Guards, 12 Mechwood Elves, and 10 Mechwood Rangers. So a nice healthy battle here. And it's nice to see Thranduil on foot. He doesn't have his elk because remember his elk died at the Battle of 5 Armies. I'm sure he has spare elks at home, but it's nice to see him on foot. He's got an additional elven blade. He does have heavy armor, so it's basically he just doesn't have his elk or his circlet of kings, which is interesting. And then for evil, we have the Spider Queen, two orc captains, Razgush, orc shaman, 36 orc warriors, 6 wild riders, 6 orc trackers, 4 Mechwood spiders, 4 giant spiders, 2 bat swarms, and 6 largs. So it's a nice mix of gribblies and orcs. Which will be very cool. Be a very, very cool thing. I do kind of want to make like a Thranduil's Hall kind of board where you have the Thranduil's Hall, like when the elves are escorting the dwarves through the gates of Thranduil's halls in the Hobbit. Where you got the waterfall, you got the little bridge over, and the gates. I kind of want to make that board and like have these orcs assault that kind of, and like Thranduil's trying to defend his realm. I think that'd be pretty cool because on here it just has trees, but I think it'd be cool to make a little board like that. Let me know if you guys would like to see that in the comment section below. But that is the defense of Mechwood. Next up, we are onto the Assault of Lothlorien. As we know in the appendix that Lothlorien is assaulted 3 times by Sauron, and each time is repelled. And we have those 3 battles in here. But first of all, we have the crossing of the Anduin. So we have basically this is the other river board that I was telling you about. This is basically the same board as we had for the crossing of the River Carnan, I believe is what it was called. Yeah, crossing of the River Carnan, and now we have the crossing of the Anduin. So it's basically the same board, except for this side we have basically more trees. That's cool. Everyone loves trees. So it is essentially the same thing. Game lasts until one force has completed their objective. Evil player wins if 10 or more models escape the board via the western board edge. So, they've got to escape this time instead of being on the other side. So that's kind of interesting. But we got, you know, Wood Elf Captain with bow, 12 Wood Elf Warriors, 1 Wood Elf Sentinel. And then for evil, we got Musgo Orc Shaman, Orc Captain with shield, 12 Orc Warriors, 6 Warg Riders, and 6 Orc Trackers. So there we go, 6 Orc Trackers, you know. I need to find those Orc Trackers. Like I said, I don't think they're available at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, let me know if they are, if they are available in your country. Maybe I can try and get some off people, and you know, I need to find them essentially. I never thought I'd own Orc Trackers, to be honest. I never really liked the models, but they're in the scenario, so I've got to get them. And next up we have the Attack on Lorien. So this is the first Assault on Lorien. Like I said, they're in the appendix, they did say 3. So we have the first Attack on Lorien. So we have the Attack on Lorien, and this one's basically got a massive Malon tree in the center, which I do have a guide to make that as well, a massive Malon tree. So I'll definitely be making that finally. And of course, the elephant in the room, we have Orphan. Orphan is finally, I know I said this in my previous video, but he's right there, as you guys can see. He is right there. You know, we got Orphan, Wood Elf Captains, Galadriel Warriors, 12 Wood Elf Warriors, and then we got Musgo Orc Warriors, Orc Trackers, Warg Riders. So it's again, it's all the same, you know, warriors, and it's basically all the same forces for every scenario. So that's really nice. So you only have to paint up a certain amount of each warrior essentially. So it's gone back to those, you know, not war bands or 800 points worth of stuff. It's really nice. It's really nice to see, you know, back to classic old Middle Earth SBG essentially. And yeah, the Malon tree has got defensive 10 and 10 wounds, and the orcs, Musgo and the Orc Shaman gain the following additional magical power: decay, range of 6 inches, cast on a 4+, and it reduces the Malon tree's defense characteristic by 1 for the remainder of the game. So it's and also suffers a wound, which is, you know, it's grim, very grim indeed. Additionally, both Musgo and the Orc Shaman gain a 3-point of will point per turn. However, this free will point can only be used to cast a decay magical power. So that's going off twice a turn. I think it would be nice if you could only use it to get decay once per turn for, you know, if the Malon tree could only be used like decay once on it a turn. Otherwise, you know, 5 turns and it's pretty much gone. You know, it's interesting, that's for sure. I don't know. You definitely you have to go against Musgo and the Orc Shaman. Those have to be your targets. It's nice that it's only a 6-inch magical power, and it is only on a 4+. So what, 50% of the time, because you're doing it twice a turn, once you're within 6 inches. So you know, you might have a chance. You might have a chance. Next up, we have Trapped on Both Sides. This is the second Attack on Lorien. And this time we have the new Rumor, which looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait for this guy to come out as well. Then we have Wood Elf Captains, 24 Galadriel Warriors this time, 12 Wood Elf Warriors, Wood Elf Sentinel, Guard of Galadriel Court, and then basically everything else, like I said before. But this time they are joined by Moria. They are joined by the Goblins of Moria. We have 24 Moria Goblins, 2 Warg Marauders, and 4 Venomback Spiders. Which is very cool. And the objective of this one, game lasts for 12 turns, whichever side has the most models within 6 inches of the center of the board. Yeah, good deployments in the center of the board, 6 inches from the center, and Moria and Spider deployment on the left side of the board. Oh, so that'd be north, south. Never eat soggy Weet-Bix, so that'd be... Yeah, so on the west side of the board, depends which way you're looking essentially. So west side of the board, you have Moria and Spider deployment, and on the east side, I guess, east or west, yeah, on the opposite board, essentially, you have the Mordor deployment. And next up, we have the final Assault on Lothlorien. Now, this is the big one. We have Galadriel in this one as well. So we have Galadriel, the Mirror of with the Mirror of Galadriel, I should say. Celeborn, you know, all geared up with his heavy armor. 24 Galadriel Warriors, 12 Wood Elf Warriors, 4 Guards of Galadriel Court, and 3 Wood Elf Sentinels. So a nice big force there. And then for evil, we have Musgo, Druzag, Ashtrak, Orc Shaman, 24 Orc Warriors, 6 Warg Riders, 6 Orc Trackers, 24 Moria Goblins, 8 Venomback Spiders, and 3 Warg Marauders. So nice big battle there. And again, I do have guides that I got from somewhere. I don't remember where. but I do have guides printed out to make Lorien trees, like with the tree houses and stuff, you know, because I know recently there've been a lot of what do you call it, you know, STLs and 3D printing stuff, but I always like to make stuff. I'm very handsy. I like to see my progress, essentially, you know, and make things from scratch, essentially, and you know, see the way, you know, that's my hobby. I like doing that. It's my hobby. And it feels like I'm cheating in a way if I do 3D printing. I've never done that myself, to be fair. I've always made stuff, you know. It may not look good, but, you know, I know I've done that, you know. It's a bit more of a not more of a pride thing for me, I should say, but it's more of a, you know, I know I've done this, essentially. So, yeah, I do have that. So I've got the Lorien tree houses. So I'm going to try and do that as well. I'm going to make Garadon? I think that's how it's pronounced. And next up, you guys all know what's coming. The Fall of Dol Guldur with a 4x4 Dol Guldur board. It's up there. It's right up there. I'm looking at it right now. It's not done, obviously. Hopefully, by the time we get to this scenario, it should be done. Because yeah, like I said, I was so glad that they had a 4 Dol Guldur scenario in here. You know, obviously Galadriel rips down, tears down the walls of Dol Guldur and lays bare its pits. I'm pretty sure is what it says in the appendices, in the appendix, I should say. And I'm so glad that there's a scenario for this, so I can use that awesome Dol Guldur board that I'm building. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, go check out my first 2 parts of building Dol Guldur. I'll put them in the description below as well. If you guys have gotten this far, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Because yeah, I'm so excited to finish that. And you know, we finally have the Fortress of Dol Guldur, so it's a nice saving. Unfortunately, it's not available in Australia and New Zealand, which sucks. I don't know why it's not available here. You know, I've already bought 9 sets of it. I'm at least going to need another 6 for the courtyard itself. So I need to try and find a way to get to try and get that, but we'll see. But this one's got Galadriel, Celeborn, Rumil, Orifin, 24 Galadriel warriors, 4 guards of Galadriel court, so a nice healthy elf force there. 6 Castellans of Dol Guldur with Morgul Blade, 12 Hunter Orcs, 12 Fellogs, and 4 Merkwood Spires. So a nice, cool game here. Definitely want to play this one for sure. Once I get that board done, this is priority. This is priority to play this one. And yeah, Galadriel's got a cool power during this game called Break Stone. It's got a range of 3 inches, cast on a 4+, and is a targeted ruin is immediately destroyed. And anyone within the ruins or within 1 inch of the ruins destroyed suffer a strength 8 hit. So you want Galadriel to be close to them, but not too close, if that makes sense. And they have 7, I believe it's 7, yeah, 7 ruins on the map, evenly spaced out. And you need it, basically, the objective is simple. You have to destroy all the ruins or kill Galadriel, and that's it. That's it for this scenario. And that is the Fall of Dol Guldur, and that is the last of the 18 scenarios. Of course, like I said, we have the appendix scenarios. We'll go over that in a separate video. But we have the Defense of the North campaign. So I'm not going to go over this too much, but we have 3 separate campaigns. We have the Battle of Dale, we have the Defense of Merkwood, and we have the Assault on Lothlorien. And what happens, like in, you know, what we expect now, whatever happens in the previous scenario affects the next scenario. Now, a couple of caveats here. I know in some, I believe in, was it Scaring the Shire, possibly Rohan at War, if you won some scenarios, you might add some extra models onto other scenarios. I can confirm that that doesn't happen in this, so you don't need to buy extra models for if you win or lose these scenarios. I've looked at all these. But what's very cool, though, is that if you win the end of one of the campaigns, so at the Battle of Dale, so the last one is the Tide Turns, and the next one for the Defense of Merkwood is Golem's Escape. So the Tide Turns, if good win in this, the Defense of Merkwood campaign, if a scenario is drawn, then the good player counts as winning, or if evil win, the evil counts as winning if it's a draw for a scenario. And the same for the Defense of Merkwood campaign. If the Battle Under the Trees, if you win, then if the scenario is drawn, then the good player counts as winning. If the evil win, they count as winning the scenario. So it really goes on to different. So the previous campaign follows on to the next campaign as well. Or you could just play them, you know, as separate campaigns. That's an option as well. But that's very cool as well. And that is the end of the scenarios in Defense of North. I'm really excited, guys. I'm so excited to build these boards for you guys. I'm so excited to get these scenarios out. I promise you, on this channel, hoping by the end of the year to start this campaign. Because as you guys know, this is my baby right now. I've been wanting this out for so long. I've been wanting to play this for so long. And I'm really excited to get it started for you guys. And I hope to document my progress as I do this, you know, building the armies for it, building the boards for it, building all the terrain for it. I hope to document it for you guys. If you guys would like to see that, let me know in the comment section below. But I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you got some hopping done while I jabbled on here. If you guys are still here, I appreciate you. Type 1 in the comment section below if you're still watching. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure to comment defend the North, I should say. Comment defend the North if you guys would like to win a copy of this and some Eastling dice as well. But yeah, I'll get out of here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, happy game.